can I help you?
Do you work here?
I do. I'm the new president of Memorial University.
Oh, hey, how are you? You're the new, nice to meet
And
you.
you're Alan Doyle.
My name's Alan.
Great
Nice,
big C.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Nice
how are
to meet you too. I'm fabulous.
Gee, it's great to have you. I'm looking for the convocation.
Oh no, Alan. The convocation's postponed because of COVID-19. But hats off to these graduates who worked so hard. I feel so bad they're not having a celebration.
Hats off to the graduates. Why don't we have like a celebration, a party, a hats off celebration for the graduates of 2020?
How can we do that?
Do it on the computer, do it on the internet. We'll get some friends. Will you do it?
I'm in.
I'll do it, and we'll get Trent and a few other people. This will be awesome. Hats off, convocation, celebration party.
Thank you, Alan.
Oh, this is going to be great. Thank you so much. Sorry, of course. Sorry.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Alan.
See you, doctor.
What's going on, everybody? It's Trent McClellan, graduate of Memorial University. Yeah, I graduated. Took me 7 years, but I got there, got it done, figured it out. Welcome to Hats Off. We're celebrating all the amazing grads of the class of 2020 during these strange, crazy times. And just in case you're worried, I am 6 feet from my laptop. So there's no danger of anyone having anything or anything on the go. I'm not even touching that. I'm 6 feet from it. I got the wicked arm span. Don't worry about it. So welcome to Hats Off. Thanks to everybody, all the graduates out there who are watching. We're glad you're here. All your family and friends, people who support Memorial University, who've driven by Memorial, welcome. We're glad you're here. I'm joined by some of the most awesome people I could imagine, okay? I'm joined from a member of the 2020 graduating class, Jenny Mallard. Jenny, say hello.
Hi, everyone.
What are you at? I am joined by a fellow who pretty much does everything there is to do creative. This fellow's attached to it. Music, author, movies, it doesn't matter. Mr. Alan Doyle's in the house. Alan, what's on the go?
Good day. Nice to be here. Graduating class of 1992. Bachelor of Arts. Thank you very much.
You're here looking for a piece of paper.
But with the music industry down like it is, Trent, I'm considering operating a chip truck for the summer, though, too. So stay tuned for that.
Doyle spots. There's something wrong with that.
What are you at? What are you at? Cooking chips.
I am also joined by the brand new president of the university, Dr. Vianne Timmons. Dr. Timmons, how are you?
I'm fabulous, Trent, and I want to thank you and Alan and Jenny for doing this, and hats off to you graduates. So excited to be here. Wish we could do this in person.
Dr. Timmons, it's nice to see you on the old computer. Thanks for letting us put all this together.
Oh, you know, Alan, we're so lucky that I didn't get you arrested wandering around campus during the pandemic.
I do have, somewhat of a suspicious look. There ain't no doubt about that.
All right, so for those of you who don't know who I am, that's not my fault. I don't know what else I got to do out there.
Everybody knows who you are, Trent. Everybody knows who you are.
I got family members who don't know who I am. So, the bar is not that high. I got to be honest with you, okay? Right off the top. But I am a graduate of Memorial University, 7 years.
Woo-hoo!
That's how good a time I was having. They were like, Trent, you could do your arts degree in 4. I was like, I'll take 7. Put me down for 7. Loving it here. Loving it. Wicked time. So graduated, degree in history and English. Unbelievable. Started in Grenfell College in Corner Brook, right? Amazing. Then got recruited to play soccer. I don't know why. I'd never seen a soccer ball ever in my life. They're like, okay, look, we want to change it up. Come on out. So I went out there, played soccer. And I don't know what Alan thinks about this, but when you're from a small town and then you go to St. John's, it's like going to Toronto. Like you drive down Kent Mount Road and there's billboards. And like, what's a Arby's? Like I had no idea what editing was. And then I get to the campus and I'm like, you could fit the entire population of my town of Corner Brook inside the university. Like that's how many students there was.
One of my first classes was English 1000, and it was in the big lecture hall at the Arts Building at the time, and it was more than Petty Harbour. The population was of my English course. Definitely my Psych 1000 course was bigger than Petty Harbour. And Trent, I swear to God, it was my first day there was my first interaction with an elevator in a school, and it was my first time I ever saw one of those fancy 2-tiered water fountains. Honest to God.
Mind blown. Mind
Two sinks,
blown.
honest to God.
Crazy. And when you're from a small town, you go to a bigger city, it's weird not to be able to just park next to the building you want to go into. Like, you just can't blow up and go like, I'm blowing into the phys ed building. Like, no, you're not. You're parking down here 9 acres, and then you got to get a taxi up to the phys ed building. Like, all this was just otherworldly to me. I didn't know what was on the go. So I felt like it was on another planet, right?
Yeah.
So it was a crazy time, but I survived it. And again, it took me 7 years to figure it out, okay? But I got through it.
Can I ask you, Trent, and anyone else for that matter, were you as freaked out by the tunnels as I was? That was the big one for me. It was like, does everyone know about these tunnels?
We're going to beautify those tunnels. Let me tell you, Alan, those tunnels, everyone's going to want to walk through them. You wait and see.
They're not that bad anymore.
Yeah, we're getting better, Jenny.
They're getting better. They're getting a lot better. You don't have to whisper in order for everyone in the whole tunnels to hear what you're saying anymore. It's great.
It was so easy to eavesdrop down there. That's all. I should apologize, actually, because I still think I rent a locker down there. I just never went and cleaned it out. I think it's been there since 1992, and I'm pretty sure Mom made me an egg sandwich.
Ooh, that's gone off now. That's definitely after going off by now, I'd say. Definitely. I told one of my buddies that the tunnels took you to St. Pierre. We haven't seen him since. I have not seen him since. He went down them tunnels. Don't know if he's over there now at a discotheque, or I have no idea where he ended up. But, I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? But I enjoyed my time at Memorial, and now that we've gotten the foolishness out of the way, it's time to bring the learned in, the quite learned. And I want to bring in the president of the university. She is the 13th president and vice chancellor of Memorial University. And she thought, why don't I start in April 2020 in the middle of a global pandemic? Give me the keys. Let's go at it, right? She's a recipient of the Order of Canada. She's a former president of the University of Regina. She's originally from Labrador City, so you know she's tough. You know she's tough. Please welcome, for a few words, the president of the university, Dr. Vianne Timmons.
First of all, I wish to congratulate our graduates. For all of you, it has been a great challenge to reach this day. You have mastered difficult academic programs, and today we are celebrating your accomplishments. I had hoped to meet each of you in person, but I am thrilled to be part of this celebration as you enter into the next phase of your education or careers. And this is a celebration. This might be the best option in a pandemic, but I promise you, once we get the all clear, you will be invited to attend convocation. To achieve your success, you are supported by your family, your friends, and your fellow students. You are also supported by your teachers and your professors. From the first day of kindergarten to the last day of examinations at university, I know they are all so proud of you. Our support for you will continue as you join the family of Memorial University alumni. Our alumni now number almost 100,000, and they can be found throughout our province and the world. The value of your Memorial education will become more evident as you develop your own careers. What you can be certain about right now is that your degree from Memorial University is well regarded at home and abroad. You are all aware of the time, effort, and financial resources required to be successful. Let me focus on a quality that was also essential to your success: courage. Courage is an important concept in our society. We normally associate it with our acts of bravery and valor, but we should also associate courage with everyday life. Indigenous peoples and early settlers of Newfoundland and Labrador showed great courage almost daily just to survive. And sometimes making it through a typical spring in this province takes a lot of courage. It took courage for you all to come to Memorial, especially those of you who grew up in small communities or in different cultures and countries. It took courage to study new subjects at university and to be examined on them. It took courage to make new friendships and, on occasion, to end friendships. And it took courage these past couple of months to simply finish your degrees through this pandemic. I am so proud of all of you for working through what has probably been the most extraordinary, challenging, and difficult term of your university careers. I know it hasn't been easy, but you did it. One last burst of courage, and you cross the finish line. Now use that same courage to master the future, create a better life. With the competencies that you acquired in your university program, dare to do something new, something important, and thereby change the world. Challenge yourself. Be courageous in your ideas, and always surround yourself with people who lift you up. I've often said that universities should not reflect the world in which we live. Rather, they should reflect the world in which we want to live. As each of you goes forward, please remember that you will help shape the world in which we are going to live. I know you will do us proud. In the meantime, take the time to enjoy your success. Do it safely. You deserve it. Hats off to all of you.
All right, Dr. Timmons, thank you so much for that message. Obviously, yeah, you will need courage going forward in anything you do in your life. So congrats again to all the graduates out there. Now, we want to get a member of your own 2020 graduating class. She is graduating with a BCom, and she's quite the musician as well, but now she's got a few words of wisdom for us going forward. Please welcome Jenny Mallard.
Hello, everyone. I am honored to have been asked to speak at this very special celebration here today. I know for some of us it seems like just yesterday we were first stepping foot on campus. And now here we are in the most unimaginable of situations, graduating from Memorial University. Although we are unable to celebrate in our traditional ways this year, this does not make our achievements any less worthy of recognition. There's no pretending that the situation isn't disappointing, and we are allowed to grieve it. But if our degrees have taught us anything, it's how to be resilient. Just look at how far we've come. We got through those 8 a.m. lectures, those sleepless nights before finals, and those courses we thought we could never pass. This is just one last challenge that we will overcome. So today, we should remember all that we've been through, recognize all that we've accomplished, and celebrate the memories that we've made. We should be proud of the people that we have become on our journeys and be thankful for all the experiences that have led us to learn and grow. And as for what's in store for us next, not everyone has a strict plan, but a degree teaches you more than what was in our textbooks. Our degrees have taught us lessons that will make us into the new leaders of tomorrow. And today, we are ready to take on all that this world has in store for us. Today, we are resilient. Today, we are unstoppable. Today, we are the future. Thank you.
That was a great speech, Jenny. Thanks so much. What is the overall feeling of all your classmates during these strange times?
If I can speak for everyone that I've talked to, really, we are just trying to get through it and staying hopeful, but you know, we can't do much about the situation, but we're doing our best.
I get it. Now, if you got like library books, are they not worried about you returning those or whatever? Like, because it's like, I got library books from 1994, and it's hard to track them down. I'll be honest with you.
No fines.
Yeah.
No fines, Trent.
Nope. Wicked. Awesome. That's excellent. Now, what about 1994? Russia, what a place. 1912, 1917. Can't quite track it down. We good? Like what's...
We're good.
Wicked. Awesome. Glad to know it. Glad to know it. Wicked. All right. This next fella, you have seen him do anything there is to do artistic. You knew him as the frontman of the amazing band Great Big Sea. Now he's gone on to have an incredible solo career. You've seen him in Robin Hood. I don't mean the flower. I mean the movie with Russell Crowe. He has produced an album for Russell Crowe. And on top of that, he's an author. He plays the bouzouki. He plays cards. You play Xbox. Anything there is to play, this fellow will play. And now he's here for us this evening. Give it up for the one and only Alan Doyle.
A song for the graduating class. Walk on the Moon, a song I wrote my first ever trip to Nashville, the holy ground of songwriting, and I figured it was a giant step to make my first trip there, just like a giant step that you guys are taking today. Is it just me or a message from above? Bells are ringing, pushes finally come to shove. The door before me now is open just enough, and I'm sick and tired of waiting for dreams that never come, and games I never played in, but still wish that I had won. Now I'm alive, I've got one shot, and I'm taking it to you. I'm alive, I realize not a moment too soon. This is my one small step, this is my walk on the moon. Don't you think their hands were shaking as that rocket ship touched down? I'm sure they shivered when they finally touched the ground. And the giant leaped so fragile that it hardly made a sound. But it must have been amazing, what a world they got to see. So I don't care, my foolish fear won't get the best of me. Now I'm alive, I've got one shot, and I'm taking it to you. I'm alive, Lord, I realize not a moment too soon. This is my one small step, this is my walk on the moon. A walk on the moon. It must have been amazing, what a world they got to see. Oh, so I don't care, my foolish fear won't get the best of me. Now I'm alive, I've got one shot, and I'm taking it to you. I'm alive, Lord, I realize not a moment too soon. I'm alive, I've got one shot, and I'm taking it to you. I'm alive, Lord, I realize not a moment too soon. This is my one small step, this is my walk on the moon. A walk on the moon. Graduating class of Memorial University of Newfoundland, I humbly offer you a story. Graduation day. Graduation day does not have to be what you expected. It certainly isn't for you, and it wasn't for me either. My first days at MUN were September of 1987 as I enrolled in the General Studies program with an eye to pursuing a conjoint Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Education. I had loved my previous high school years at St. Kevin's in the Ghouls. Unlike my early education at St. Edward's in Petty Harbour, St. Kevin's had a real gym and sports teams, a band with real cool musical instruments, and girls that weren't my first or second cousins. I liked high school so much that I figured I wanted to return to it as soon as possible, but on the other side of the desk. I figured I'd be that teacher that hung around after school and helped with the spring musical or variety show or whatever, and not so secretly hoped that the students would ask him to sing a song in the show too. What, me? My God, no, I couldn't possibly. It's all about the kids. It's all about the kids. Okay, if you insist. Here's 2 or 3 I prepared earlier, and as I fake blushed, I'd be handing out chords and lyric sheets to the band or choir. I launched into the conjoint degree program and first aimed to finish my Bachelor of Arts with a double major in English and Religious Studies. I should say I chose these two subjects because I liked them and not just because if I did them along with a French course, I wouldn't have to do any math. That may or may not be totally truthful. I paid my way through the next 4 or 5 years of university with a night job playing solo gigs down on George Street and Water Street and a day job at the Newfoundland Museum. My schedule was a bit crazy in the first couple of years of the 1990s, as I would get up and work at the museum 9 to 5 and do a combination of lunchtime and evening classes. But by the end of 1992, I handed in my last English paper and got my invite to the cap and gown ceremony. It was to happen on a Wednesday around 1 p.m., so I had to do the most unusual thing. I had to get an hour off work to get my Bachelor of Arts diploma. That morning at the museum, the weather delayed a school group, so my morning ran late. At 12:20, I finally got them out the door and jumped a cab to the Arts and Culture Center. Luckily, one of my 4 roommates had graduated in the session before mine, so I borrowed his necktie. And if truth be told, if you look at the convocation photos of myself or Perry Chafe, or a couple of the other tenants of the near frat house we had dubbed Chateau de Suez, you'd indeed see that we're all wearing the same necktie. I ran into the Arts and Culture Center, received hasty instructions about where to sit and what to do, and about 40 minutes later, I was walking across the stage in a cap and gown. About 20 minutes after that, I passed the necktie on to another Chateau tenant and bolted back to work. I had no time to linger or chat or celebrate. I remember sitting in the cab with a driver who spent most of his time swiveled around in the seat, looking at me in the back and ignoring the road ahead. "Oh, you just graduated, did you?" "Oh, yes, boy, I got a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Science there a little while ago. I must say, I wouldn't mind going back some." The last of his sentence was obscured I couldn't really hear it, over the chorus of horns blowing and blaring as he ran a light at Rollins Cross. I got out of the cab in front of the museum just as a school bus was pulling up in front of the old museum, and I ran in to start my next tour. That evening, a few pals were having drinks to celebrate, and I joined for a quick one, but had to leave early to start my set at the Rose and Thistle on Water Street. I joked from the stage to the 20 or 30 people there who were politely applauding. It's almost like you guys don't realize that the guy standing in front of you is the most recent graduate with a Bachelor of Arts from Memorial University of Newfoundland. But with one diploma in my pocket, I was just 5 education courses and an internship away from realizing my goal of becoming a teacher. In the winter of 1993, I did a few of those courses while working in Meaghan and was well on my way to being available to teach by the end of the year. But then something happened that neither I nor anyone else could see coming. It wasn't a global pandemic, but something that would change the course of my plans equally, if not way more than a temporary shutdown. On the evening of March 11, 1993, a band called Great Big Sea played its first gig ever at where else? Memorial University of Newfoundland, as we opened for the Irish Descendants at the Thompson Student Center. A few months later, we practically owned the live music scene in downtown. A few months after that, we were signed to record deals in Canada, in the US, in the UK, in Germany, and Denmark. We got in a station wagon in the winter of 1994 and started driving west, playing gigs everywhere from St. John's to Tofino and back again. All the while, I stuck with my education courses. I wanted to finish what I started and also did not want to tempt karma by putting all my eggs in the band basket. I was worried that it would look too much like taking it all for granted, I suppose. So I did mail-in correspondence courses in the back of the station wagon and in dressing rooms and hotel rooms, with my eye on crossing that arts and culture stage one more time with an education degree. Surely, I thought, the band's rise would not go on forever, and eventually I'd get to do my internship, so I forged ahead with the course material. But much to my delight, the band kept growing, and it looked like taking 3 months off the road to student teach would be impossible. It looked more and more like the last of those mail-in course tests would be the only BED convocation that I would get. The station wagon stopped one afternoon at an Esso in Lethbridge, Alberta. I took my MUN-supplied envelope and licked it closed while Bob gassed up the van and Daryl got turkey sandwiches. I walked to the Canada Post mailbox across the snow-covered street, leaning into the prairie wind that no Newfoundlander is ever ready for. I dropped the envelope in the slot and hurried back to the road. but I broke stride about halfway across and slowed my pace despite the freezing. I closed my eyes and imagined the stage at the Arts and Culture Centre. I pictured the caps and gowns and the applause of classmates and the smiles of hugs from proud parents. Get in the car, will you? My daydream was broken by the boys yelling at me to get to the next gig. I jammed myself into the back of the station wagon with a box of CDs sticking into the back of my neck and my feet up on a long bass guitar case. I must have been unusually quiet as Darryl asked what was up. I proudly announced to the van, I just finished all the courses for my Bachelor of Education degree. Yes, boy, a cheer went up. A convocation in the van. In a moment, there might have been a few high fives, and a moment later, it was all silent, and all I could see was the long, cold road to the next gig. I smiled at myself and thought, a crazy cab ride to the museum after my first convocation, and a cold station wagon to a gig in Alberta for my second. I smiled bigger. It's not what I planned, not by a long shot. But I wouldn't have had it any other way. So, dear class of 2020, what can we take away from some hairy old folk singer rambling on in his basement into his phone from such a story? I could offer this. Life throws you curveballs all the time. This is one of them, and it's probably a big one. But it won't be the last one. Life is always throwing you curveballs, and that is such an excellent thing. Curveballs are opportunities to do stuff you would never imagined. And my biggest curveball, of course, was getting asked to be in a band that I could have never, ever, ever saw. And those opportunities will come out of this for some of you. And some other curveballs will come down the road for other people. And cherish them because they can be blessings in disguise. The second thing I would say is, much like that young fella in the back of the van in Lethbridge, Alberta, is never stop learning. Your MUN career for some of you might be the end of your formal education. Some of you will go on to other things, but for all of you, I would say no matter what you do, remember this: never stop learning. It is the greatest human trait that we have, our ability to learn. And I've been so lucky, and I met so many people over the years in my travels. And it's without exception, my favorite people are the people who always have their eyes open to learn something. And my least favorite people are the people with their eyes closed who think they don't need to learn anything else. I wish you all a sincere congratulations. It's a big deal what's going on today. Don't forget it. Celebrate, have fun. Cheers. Congratulations, everybody. Let's all sing together. Come on. Well, I've got a smile on my face and I've got four walls around me. Got the sun in the sky and all the water surround me. Oh, you know, yeah, I win now. Sometimes I lose. I've been battered, but I never bruise. It's not so bad, like you would. And I say, wait, it's just an ordinary day, and it's on your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just got to say there's always some sorrow. It's a double-edged knife, but there's always tomorrow. Oh, you know, it's up to you now if you sink or swim. Yet I still the faith that your ship will come in. It's not so bad. And I say, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just got to say it. I say, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just got to say it's alright. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. I've got a smile on my face, and I've got four walls around me.
All right, so Alan Doyle, of course, had 2 convocations, and Dr. Vianne Timmons, we understand that all the graduates will get a chance to walk across the stage proper at some point. Is that right?
Yeah, these 2,400 graduates who we're talking to now, I hope they're all on, they will all be invited to crossing the stage convocation in the future. I don't know when. None of us know when. We don't know when we're going to get our hair done. We know nothing about the future. But they will have that opportunity as we go forward, for sure.
I got my hair done there just a little while ago, so it's coming together nicely there.
I was going to say, I mean, I know you're the president of the place, but you haven't got to mock the man like that just because he's bald as an egg here. I mean, it seems unfair. Sorry about that, Trent.
No, that's unreal. I mean, it's, you know.
Well, bald is sexy, I think, Trent. That's what everyone says.
Well,
you know,
everyone
says that.
I got a T-shirt that says that, and I wear it every day. So nothing to me. You ain't telling me nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I got to figure it out. I went to Memorial for 7 years. You think I don't know a few things? I know a few things. I don't know where the tunnels go. I have no idea where the tunnels go still, but I do know a lot of other things. So, you know. So, Jenny, you are going to get a chance to walk across the stage. How exciting is that?
Woo!
Fantastic.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. I want to thank all of my amazing guests for joining me tonight. Dr. Vianne Timmons.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and thank you for our fabulous guests, and hats off to all of our grads.
I want to thank graduate 2020, Jenny Mallard.
Thank you so much for having me, and class of 2020, we did it.
Yeah. And I want to thank the man who is around all things creative for giving us his time tonight, Mr. Alan Doyle.
Thanks so much, Trent, and thanks, Jenny, and thanks, Dr. Timmons. It's a pleasure to be here, and congrats to all the graduates.
Thanks so much again to all my guests. I can think of no better way to end this amazing celebration than with the next group. I saw them perform live in Chester, Nova Scotia last summer, and they absolutely blew the doors off the place. They've been nominated for Juno Awards. They've won multiple ECMAs. Please welcome something that we all are as Memorial graduates, Fortunate Ones.
Hey everybody, Fortunate Ones here, and feeling fortunate indeed to be involved in such a special event celebrating you, the MUN grads of 2020.
We recognize this is a strange time in the world with everything that's going on, but we want to congratulate you on your hard work. Getting a degree is no small feat at the best of times, and we can attest to that. We are both proud Memorial University grads, so congratulations. It's an odd time in the world right now, and what you've done is incredible, so hats off to you.
Congratulations.
We'd like to play a song for you now to send you home, a song of ours called Wherever You Go. It's about following your heart, and we hope that you do that going forward. All the best.
The way that you planned it at the start, to go all the way with all your heart, to go all the way with your whole heart, the way that you planned it at the start. Everyone tells you when you're wrong, so you leave to the tune of a wandering song. Someday you'll see, before too long, that they're gonna miss you when you're gone. You look down to see a stranger's hands. Wherever you go, go with all your heart. The way that you planned it at the start. The way that you planned it at the start. To go all the way with all your heart. To go all the way with your whole heart. The way that you planned it at the start. And everyone says, and it's plain to see, that everyone knows, myself and me. We're trying our own way just to be a shade of the people in our dreams. A shade of the people in our dreams. We're trying our own way just to be. We're trying our own way just to be a shade of the people that we see. So sing like a bird or like a kid. Remember the days when that's what you did. And where is that smile that used to break? Sunlight in the morning on your face. So live by the choices that you made. And don't let the light inside you fade. 'Cause babe, you can burn out when you're old. Let time take your mind, but not your soul. Let time take your mind, but not your soul. 'Cause babe, you can burn out when you're old. Babe, you can burn out when you're old. Let time take your mind, but not your soul.
To the graduating class of 2020, congratulations.